Summary of events for the city of Damascus and its countryside for Sunday, April the 28th. The number of martyrs today reached 82 so far, among them 4 women, 6 children and 3 martyrs under torture, distributed as 22 in Aleppo, 17 in Damascus and its countryside, 14 in Idlib, 9 in Dar'a, 8 in Homs, 7 in Hama, 3 in Deir el-Zor and 1 in Al-Qunaitira. As for the field news, and starting from inside the capital, shelling on برزة continued, causing several fires and destruction in houses and properties, while cannon bombing on Jobber renewed, coincided with helicopter flight in the neighborhood sky. القابون was also targeted by military aircraft, along with mortars and rocket launchers, and heavy smoke billowed as a result, while heavy security spread was noted in Al-Hariqa Square, as about 15 of them entered a shop next to the real estate bank and searched it, and the rebels organized a demonstration in Rukn al-Din that cheered for the afflicted cities and saluted the Free Army. To the southern neighborhoods, Al-Yarmouk camp was fiercely bombed with mortars, and Al-Asali was bombed with mortars and heavy artillery since the early morning, coincided with military aircraft flight over the area, and Babila witnessed huge destruction because of the heavy shelling that targets the town every day. Moving to the eastern Ghouta, heavy smoke was seen rising from its towns and cities due to bombing with mortars and rocket launchers, while residential buildings were targeted in Aqraba, and Zamalka was exposed to an area raid with MiG military aircraft and bombing with mortars and Fuzlika shells, as warplanes flew at a low height, causing a number of injuries and the death of 2 men and a child. Rocket shelling hit Douma, causing a number of deaths and huge destruction, while MiG warplanes targeted Badra Square with an area raid, causing several injuries and damage to buildings. As for Harasta, the city was exposed to heavy shelling with medium and heavy artillery, and a young man died who was an inhabitant of Al-Qutayfa city, as he was targeted by regime snipers who spread along the highway, while warplanes flew in the sky of Al-Mleha and set a raid on the archers surrounding Tamiko Company. To Daraya, where 4 people died due to an area raid on the city, coinciding with fierce shelling by rocket launchers and heavy artillery, and smoke billowed as a result, as regime forces continued their attempts to break into the city for the 167th day in a row. A new military convoy headed to the city from Al-Mazza military airport through the southern orbital road, supported with 4 tanks, 3 armored vehicles, 2 BMB carts and 8 cars with dashkas, with a big number of ambulance vehicles and buses for transporting soldiers, along with the huge military gatherings centralized at the western and the southern parts of the city, estimated with over 30 heavy machineries of tanks and carts and a big number of soldiers. Al-Mu'addamiyya was bombed with cannons and rockets that targeted the residential areas, causing a number of injuries, and a bus traveling on Damascus-Salamiyya road following Adra Transport Company was shot at randomly near Yarmouk and Nebk Bridge by security who covered a security convoy passing by there, and several people died as a result, while others were wounded with light and medium injuries. Al-Zabadani was exposed to fierce bombing that targeted the sites of Baqin and Madaya towns and the inside of Al-Zabadani city by Al-Hosh and Al-Barraq checkpoints surrounding the area, causing the death of a young man of Al-Mu'addamiyya inhabitants, and at least 4 were wounded in Baqin. The sounds of heavy shelling shook Al-Hama at about 10:30 a.m. and turned out later that the bombs were fired from Al-Rahbeh on Al-Ma'had area in Qudsiyya, causing several injuries and material damage. The regime snipers centralized in Dahiyat al-Fardos continued to target civilians in Al-Ayun area in Al-Hama, killing a young man with a bullet in the head, and many were wounded because of shelling with mortars on Qudsiyya. While security alert was noted on the political security checkpoints at Al-Thawra booth, as they inspected civilians strictly and asked for military service papers and hit some of the passing by people, and the city of Yabrud was exposed to fierce cannon bombing that targeted the orchards of Al-Salihiyya neighborhood.